constantly standing up, shouting and bawling, playing every pass, heading every ball. And that was just these three in the studio. Jose was exactly the same on the touchline, and he is with Des after that roller coaster game.
Manhunt will stop. Thanks, Jose.
Thank you. Wow, 6 times he said the word manhunting. He absolutely, Paul, feels that this became personal. Has he got a point?
You know, when a team's not playing well, when a club's struggling like this club has been over the last few weeks, it's always the manager's going to be the one who's going to get the stick. That just comes with the territory, that comes with the job he's done. Look, he's telling us that he's got great experience. He's been at big clubs, you know, Real Madrid, Barcelona. He's worked at these massive clubs, and you're always going to be under that scrutiny as a manager. And I think he's just letting us know he can deal with it. Maybe he thinks, well, not maybe, he doesn't think some of his players can obviously handle it. I didn't really like the comments, like, you know, about McTominay and Rashford. I don't think that'll help them. Maybe that's a thing he could have done behind, you know, not in front of everybody, and, you know, maybe give them a bit of confidence, put our arm around them or something. Maybe that's a thing he could have done behind, you know, not in front of everybody, and, you know, maybe give them a bit of confidence, put our arm around them or some pitch. But like I say, he's got great experience, and he looks like he's ready to fight and get through it.
Did it get personal?
I don't know. I don't know where wickedness and the manhunt comes from. I don't know what he's talking about, because, like, if you see something on a football pitch, you talk about it. He's Manchester United manager. Manchester United manager doesn't go unnoticed. Win, lose or draw. There's going to be scrutiny. When you sign up to manage Manchester United, you do not expect to come in there and have it all your own way, especially if things are going wrong. If things are going wrong, you're going to be under intense scrutiny. That comes with this job. That's in the small print somewhere, I'm telling you. So to sit there and say, oh, there's a man... we're not sitting here wanting Manchester United to lose and do bad. We want Manchester United to perform the way they did in the second half.
To win the league, and being 8th, 9th, 10th in the league isn't good enough. You have to expect a bit of stick if that's going to...
He said in that interview that nobody matters, only the club matters. So he has to include himself in that as well, and I'm sure he does. But, you know, the scrutiny that comes upon him, the players of Manchester United, is solely based on what he's seen on that football pitch. On that patch out there, whether it's at home or at West Ham away, Brighton away, you know, wherever it's been this season and parts of last season, that is where he is judged. And, you know, whether it's us sat here, whether it's former players, former managers, whether it is associated with the club that are talking, or, you know, pundits and so on, they just give honest opinions as to what we're seeing. And I think from a Manchester United point of view, it hasn't been good enough for a long period of time. So therefore, as the manager, you come under scrutiny. It's not a manhunt. It's just the position that he is in one of the biggest football clubs in world football.
It's a position every manager's in.
Yeah.
It's not just Man United. It's any club in the world is... You're always going to be... If you're not performing, you're going to get some stick. And you have to be ready to take it. And he's experienced enough to take it. He's just told us that. And
what's been asked of him is, can you get a response out of these players? Because far too many times this season, that hasn't happened. So to be asked that question is... The players responded at half-time and gave the fans exactly what they want and what you want to see a team of Man United players doing, is careering forward, throwing it a kitchen sink at everything and getting over the line. And they've done that today, and that was magnificent. But we've been frustrated because we ain't seen that.
Well, let's have a look then at the Manchester United comeback. Oh, let's start with a real frustrating moment for Newcastle. It was a ridiculous free kick to give away, Jermaine.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? In fairness, Diarmi and Shelby were absolutely brilliant today, and this is just... It's one of those moments where he's just lost his head, Diarmi. Just do the right thing, you know, stay on your feet, get close. And it was the turning point. It cost him. I mean, Scholesy sat here and went, this is going in. This is right distance for one matter. Yes, Rio, you said it as well.
that was just a perfect place for one matter. We see him... We used to see him in training every day. He's putting free kicks in like regular. And, you know, you fancy him. I thought he made a difference, actually. I thought he was quite good. Not very good. He brought a bit of composure to the team, and great bit of player, 1-2 with Martial. And this is what we want to see from him. We know he's got the ability. We know he can do this week in, week out. We just need to see it more. And if he gets a nice run of games, now hopefully we'll see a lot more of this.
But this could be a great moment for this team, for these players. Pogba was magnificent second half. Martial looked like he was the one wanting to take the game to Newcastle. Sanchez, these guys who are the big game changers, had impact today. That could be great for this team.
You know what I thought was amazing about Pogba today? I know this is the goal. He had a real calmness to his game. In what was almost like a really frantic moment for Manchester United. He was that senior head almost, who had that calm to play the right pass at the right moment. And this goal here I mean, for a player that's not been playing well, and has been literally put on the bench, all we speak about is the money that he is paid by this football club. He is, on the verge now of maybe doing something special in terms of a comeback for this club.
Yeah, and that I think Jose hit the nail on the head. That's attitude. He's come off the bench, hasn't sulked, pushes Martial out of the way, get off, I'm going to head this. And that's an attitude, that is, and that's what they've been crying out for.
Mark Robbins in 1990, Alexis Sanchez in 2018, Paul. Hey? They're job savers.
Scholesy was there.
Job saver, no. How old am I? No, yeah, it was has it saved his job? We don't know. We hope so. But no, we just hope now that Sanchez can get off and run. He's had a poor time of it, really, since he's come from Arsenal. We'll just hope that's a kick-start to his United career.
There's just one other thing I really want to say. And, when Jose stands there and he talks about the manhunt and he talks about the wickedness, we know he will be thinking about some of the comments that you guys have made. And I
don't care.
Yeah, but you love Manchester United. You owe them so much. They made your life what it is. Neither of you want to sit here and be critical of this football club. I feel like since you joined us on BT Sport, all we've done is lurch from disaster to disaster with Manchester United. I feel for you somewhat, but you have to just say what you see, don't you? And there's no hidden agenda. There's no issue with Jose Mourinho. There's no issue with the club. No. You are just someone that loves United and wants to see them win games of football.
Exactly. There's no issue with anybody at the club. As you say, you just have to say what you see, almost. And what we've seen for the last few years, the majority of it has not been good enough. We've started again this season poorly, but no, we love Man United. They gave us the life we have now. And we want to come here and watch great football. We want them to win leagues. We want them to win Champions Leagues. We want them to be competitive. It's not happening for now, so we just have to stick with it, and hopefully it will turn around.
It's like I said before the game. I don't want to drive up from London to Manchester thinking that I'm going to be talking about anything but football. That's the way it's been for the last few weeks. You want to talk about the second half like that. And that's down to the team, down to the management to put that in place for us to sit up here and talk like that. But nothing's personal up here. Simple as that.
Yeah. Let's hope that's it then for the man-hunting. You never know, though. With Manchester United, all it takes is another defeat and it will all begin again, won't it? Such is the soap opera of football. But for today, Jose Mourinho leaves here with a much-needed win. Their first win at Old Trafford since the opening game of the season. For Rafa Benitez, though, yet another defeat. And we'll hear from him very shortly. Hard day for them. It's almost like the situation that Manchester United in worked totally against Newcastle, because as soon as United got that goal, the whole place sensed that something might happen, didn't it?
There's nothing new there, Jake. Trust me, that's been happening for years here. They've always had a belief that if they get one, they'll get another, and they'll get another, and that's just what Manchester United is like. But from Newcastle's point of view, it was a big moment for Rafa in terms of there was a shift in the way that they played, and they had a belief in that first half, and they had a direction of the way that they played, and they dominated Manchester United for large portions with forward runs, with forward passes, putting United under a lot of pressure. And I'm just sat here thinking, will he be sat there, Rafa Benitez, thinking maybe I should have helped my team out a little bit more with one defensive change? Because he just mentioned then with Fellaini coming on that he started to have a bit of an impact, and Kieran Clark's on the bench. He could have maybe shored it up a little bit more, but I think regardless of the result, he looks at his team and he goes, you know what, you were brilliant today. Because I genuinely believe they were. I just think they came up against a very good side in the second half of Manchester United. John Joe Shelby was exceptional. I mean, I was sat here discussing him for England, with the lads, and so when he plays certain passes like that, there's not many players in the England side that have the ability to do that. They really don't. And he was on form today, causing all kinds of problems with passes and crosses and shots like this. It was a great first half display. And I'm sure he'll pick the bones out of the second half, because, still conceding 3 goals against anybody hurts Rafa.
But there's a blueprint now, isn't there, for him to take into the next set of games. Like, he's found a way to play offensively with Newcastle and be successful at it.
It's exactly that. They've had some tough games, and he's played a certain way. It's been heavily criticised in those games. And the next games are Brighton, Southampton, and Watford. So you kind of want to just pick this game up and go take it into that. That game at home, that next game at home against Brighton, and you win that game. And I feel that's what they need to do. That's what the fans want to see as well. They don't want to, they want to see more of a forward kind of thinking style of play. And the players responded well to that today.
It's not easy, is it? But somehow Rafa's got to try and find the positives out of a defeat here at Old Trafford, and I'm sure he will.